Peace. How's it going? Patrick, Conservative Rap. And in this video, we're going to get into the economic turbulence of the day. Their attempts to down the economy have failed. The deep state, the central bank, the wicked powers that want the Trump and the Patriots gone. The people Trump are exposing are now working to sabotage his parallel economy. But they can't keep using the same economic tricks that they used to. The one big beautiful bill, which is set to take effect next year, is really going to, if you think about the timing, set the Patriots and Trump up nicely because they won't be able to claim any of the positive effects come from Biden, right? It's a year in advance. So let's just get into some specific examples, and I think you'll get a sense of where I'm going. First is Mario Nafal on X. UK Met office caught using temperature data from stations that don't exist to support climate policies. So it goes to show you a lot of their scams are being exposed. Britain's Met Office is facing awkward questions after an investigator discovered 80% of its temperature monitoring sites are classified as junk, with measurement uncertainties of 2 degrees to 5 degrees Celsius. That's not a typo. 2 to 5 degrees Celsius of potential area. Only 19 pristine Class 1 sites remain capable of measuring accurate ambient air temperature accurately. The rest is located on airport runways, walled gardens, next to main roads, and inside solar farms, places where concrete, engines, and infrastructure create artificial heat islands that have nothing to do with atmospheric temperature changes. The Met Office database also contains data from over 100 stations that simply don't exist. They're using estimated temperatures from unidentified neighboring stations and presenting it as real data. When journalist Ray Sanders started asking questions through Freedom of Information requests, the Met Office dismissed them as vexatious and not in the public interest. Get that? That's not in the public interest. After media inquiries, the Met Office quietly removed the estimated data from 3 non-existent stations. Of 17 new sites created since April 2024, nearly 65% were immediately placed in the worst qualified categories. UK Science Minister Lord Patrick Valiance is calling scrutiny of this mess in misinformation that weakens trust in quote-unquote science, meaning their propaganda. Perhaps what actually, in the future, we're going to look back on this time and we're going to see a lot of this kind of science agenda as effectively no different than that of the medieval church, if you will. Perhaps what actually weakens trust in science is using temperature readings from imaginary thermometers next to jet engines to justify trillion-pound net zero policies that reshape the entire economy. The data might be fine for tomorrow's weather forecast. Using it to revolutionize Britain's energy infrastructure that requires stations that actually exist. And I like this clip by Bitman Freud, Bureau of Imaginary Problems, Climate Change Division. Next, we'll move on to RNC research. Even the Democrats are forced to acknowledge Trump's success currently. Look at CNN.
A new report shows the U.S. economy was much stronger than expected in the third quarter. GDP grew at the fastest rate in 2 years. Americans are also seeing some prices ease at the grocery store. The cost of eggs, milk, chicken, and tomatoes are all down, as you see here on the screen. A new report shows the U.S. economy was
so serious that they can't even hide it. And let's see how they take in the next semester of time and where that goes. All right. And then moving on just to more on the economic front. Anybody catch this big news? Do you remember my post a while back about Lucky Palmer, the tech genius and huge Trump supporter who's become a high-tech defense contractor specializing in drone defense technology, is now about to open a new bank, a Rebroar. The digital bank co-founded by Lucky Palmer has achieved $4.3 billion valuation. Following success of $350 million funding round, this milestone is significant as U.S. bank regulations take crucial steps towards granting the company full banking charter. The company's rapid ascent underscores growing investor interest in financial institutions that cater to the digital asset, AI, and stablecoin markets. This new bank is focused on digital assets, AI, and stablecoins. Just a coincidence that Trump is pushing hard for those same things. So I'm not going to read this entire post, but the commentary after is what I found interesting. This is the biggest story that no one is talking about. Get used to hearing about the digital dollars. That'll be layman term for stablecoins. Most won't even know the subtle differences. Many will believe that their bank accounts are digital and in dollars already. Language and words are important, but this time the difference will be the benefit of the stablecoin holders. But if it's pegged to the dollar, why does it even matter, you might wonder, and that's a great question. The difference will be that today's bank accounts are in Federal Reserve dollars, which are debt-based, inflationary, and losing value at a rapid pace. The new digital dollar, stablecoins, will be backed by gold or other assets yet to be defined, but that's clearly how they're heading, and the purchasing power will go up. This is the first step out of the debt-based system enslaving most Americans, and by extension, the world reserve currency, most of everyone in the Western world. People will eventually see that the asset-backed digital dollar is far superior to the Federal Reserve dollar. Once noticed, stablecoin dollars will be hoarded. Fed dollars will flood the market, Gresham's law. No one will want the dying dollar and any debt denominated in it. And much like the rise of gold and silver now against the Fed dollar, the digital dollar will rise in value. Then everyone will transition by choice to an asset-backed currency without even knowing why they want to use those new dollars. They'll just know that they hold value better. In other words, the digital dollar will actually be a store of value, evidence that it is actually money and not simply a currency. Fix the money and fix the world. And again, it's a new reality that we're heading into. A lot's going to be changing over this period of time, and you'll see the deep state fighting back with every element that they have. You may be hearing about, I think, Iran at the time of this recording. Wait till the tax refunds come in. The light is currently on the central bank and the Democrats, and people will see this in time. An income system versus a debt-based inflationary system, and how the two don't properly coincide. What do you think? Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, and check me out at ConservativeRap.com for more. Thanks and take care.